Hey everybody, Doc back again, run my suck. So, we got another prompt passed up to us today. It is right here. So, we have been asked to argue in the favor of that direct gas impingement is better than gas operated weapons, and show at least two factors of why this is. Alright, so right now, we're going to run off of the M4, and then we're going to move to the M27. All right. So, with this, let's go into X-ray. All right. And we're going to talk a little bit on just the operating factors of the M4 carbine that runs off of a direct gas. All right. So, what happens here if I slow this down big time is we're going to fire it. See if I can find the right moment here. Doop-a-doo. Alright, so if you happen to look at the action, trigger was pulled, which provided the hammer its free capability to allow its hammer spring to propel the hammer itself upon the head of the firing pin, which shifts itself forward, which dents the primer. Alright, cool. Basic properties of most firearms, right? Big metal thing hits nail, nail hit round, boomy boy makes the powder go boom. Now, the major part that differs different firearms is how it gets ready to shoot again. All right. Now, the expansion of the powder is going to build up a large force of energy. All right. That's going to be from the burning powder, which is going to start forming generative gas and then provide force that's going to have to go somewhere, which is going to follow the path of least resistance. Now, due to the weapon being in a locked condition, it prevents it from propelling itself rearward initially. So, the path of least resistance is going to be this small object which is just squeezed into place, and then it's going to propel it forward. So, the bullet's going to travel down the barrel, be engaged by the rifling, providing its spin, but we're not talking about accuracy today. All right. Now, behind that is going to be that buildup of massive amounts of gases. All right, that you can utilize to help operate the weapon. So that buildup of gases, a small portion of it is going to go through this gas port right here, get channeled up, and travel rearwards through this gas tube into the gas key. All right. Then that is going to slowly force it to the rear to where the cam pin is going to be shifted inbound into the bolt carrier group, which is then going to rotate the bolt itself, which is going to unlock it and also allow the energy to propel itself rearward. All right. Which it's also going to compress the buffer and buffer spring. All right. Which, when that energy is generally expelled about right here, it's going to be then compressed to the point to where it overcompensates for the energy that the gas provides, and then, you know, push it forward, strip the next round off the magazine, and then hunky-dory, we're back to where we started. All right. Let me show you guys how this bolt cam pin kind of works. It's pretty interesting. Most people don't ever pay attention to. So now, something that tends to be rather universal when it comes to air designs is obviously it's a very common weapon system, which is very versatile, which allows you to change many things, right? Well, with that also comes with a cost capability of having to figure out the length of your gas tube, the size of your gas port, which is going to come down to the weight of your bolt carrier group, the strength of your spring, and the weight of your buffer, which is going to allow proper cycling and actions of this, which gives you multiple versatilities of this. This also would go against it with something that would just be a gas piston, which commonly would have a regulator of sorts somewhere towards the front that you can rotate for when the weapon tends to have a buildup of carbon. But anyway, speaking in the favor of direct gas impingement. All right. So with this, it is going to commonly try to blow debris and gunk that would be accumulated from the breach that would commonly create fouling and to build up in the weapon to where the gun no longer shoots, or in extreme cases turns your gun into a pipe bomb. Then it's also going to allow the traveling of now a slightly heated breach to then help expel it out of the action through the ejection port. All right. This system is very prominent with being suppressed. It's just that you have to be detailed and understand that each weapon has its own personality, and each of them is not going to be set finished and is always going to need its little bit of fine tuning, which you might have a different torque with this one's muzzle device to properly allow it to be suppressed or properly allow it to be cycled versus the one that you may also have, which could be the exact make and model. Something just could be slightly different and changed. It's a system that's been tried and true for quite a while. We're still using it today. Yes, we are switching over to short stroke pistons, and also machine gun operates off of long strokes, such as the 240 and the M249. But with this, it's straight up, you have two parallel tubes and a small little vent that allows them to connect, and the only thing that you generally would have to vary would be the size of that gas port and then the length of your gas tube depending on your barrel and your bolt weight. Anyway, I hope I generally informed you guys. Obviously, it's really hard to argue for the side that you disagree with, but I believe I successfully have done it. Hope you guys have a nice day, and always remember, treat every weapon as if it were loaded. Never point your weapon at anything you're not intended to shoot. Keep your finger straight and off the trigger until you're ready to fire. Keep your weapon on safe until you intend to fire, and know your target lies beyond and in between. Hope you guys have a lovely day. Goodbye.